Everyone, it's Tom here from battlerapresume with a quick prediction vlog for King of the Dot's upcoming Blackout 7 event. As I'm sure most of you know, Blackout 7 is a kind of odd event. It's an incognito event. They announce all the battlers, but they don't announce the matchups. Very, very cool, actually. Very, very smart way of marketing it as well. So I'm going to sort of be going through predicting what I think the matchups could be in my head. I'm trying to play against type to a certain extent, trying to do what I would see. And yeah, we'll get into those matchups in a second. Just before we do, though, please follow the show at battlerapresume. Please subscribe to the show on the iTunes, on the YouTube, all that good stuff. Check us out on Patreon as well, patreon.com/battlerapresume for lots of exclusive archival stuff, lots of preview episodes, all that good stuff. But yeah, let's get into the card. And this is, fair to say one of the weaker sort of cards on paper. I think of Blackout 5 really as being the kind of ginormous one that was on that kind of boomy stage. And I remember asking when he battled 24/7 when he was on the show, I was like, what did the crowd look like? Because it never cut to the crowd. And then you had Blackout 6, which again, King of the Dot with the crowd, kind of suffered with the people at the bar and stuff like that. But nonetheless, had a few good battles. Obviously the Iron Deers and stuff like that. Had some shining moments there. But yeah, they get to Blackout 7, and a lot of people have been putting it down as a bit of a budget card, so to say, but there's got to be destroy and rebuild, and you can't just assume that it's a budget card because this is the battlers that they could only get. I remember Organic posting, I think it was last year, when people were complaining about the Blackout card, and he was saying, look, we asked like B Magic and Tony and these sort of people, it's not like they aren't going out of their way to put together something interesting. But this is Blackout 7, and all the matchups have been announced, so let's get into the my thoughts on this card. So Day one, I think, would kick off in battlerapresume's ideal card. Chrome versus Loso. That would be the battle that I would like to see. These are two guys that I'm just getting hip to, really. Loso especially is someone that I've been hearing a lot about. I heard him on Angry Fan recently. Sounded like a really interesting guy. But I just watched him versus Bad News yesterday, and him versus DNA I'm going to watch tonight. And I was very, very impressed with the Bad News battle. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. I thought his presence was on point. He had some excellent name flips. Maybe a little bit too heavy on the name flips, but nothing wrong with name flips, as Koji, I'm sure, will tell you. And I think this could be, this is why I like this kind of card to a certain extent. Like, maybe it's budget in some people's eyes, but it's also breaking new ground. Loso is an exciting talent on the Bullpen League, and it's very, very cool that King of the Dot are flying him out, putting him onto the Blackout card. And Chrome, who is a Canadian native, from what I can gather, he obviously battled Jeffrey at the recent World Darms. He also battled JC, which is an excellent battle. He had some brilliant material against JC. I think JC kind of washed him because Chrome doesn't necessarily have that presence yet. JC's a pro, but I think Chrome Loso. I think throwing these two guys together, they both got strong personalities. They're both very, very different. It could be quite a serious battle. I think it'd be a nice battle to kick it off. Quite an intelligent battle from both of them. I think this could be a good one. Second battle that I'm looking forward to, or that I'd hope would go down, although this one I can't really see going down. Jims. Jims is someone, again, that I'm a little bit obscure on, to be honest with you. I know that he's known for his blogs. I watched him versus Averb as I was cooking myself and my girlfriend dinner. It was okay. I thought there was some okay stuff there. I think he definitely has a personality. He's quite an intriguing character on the stage. But he's going against someone in my Idleos worldview that I really, really like. And I think this guy, I'm very, very happy to see him on Blackout. I think he should continue to get mid to top tier opponents as he climbs ascent. That's Jeffrey. Jeffrey, that I first became aware of, was E. Farrell's partner. They battled DNA and K-Shone when DNA and K-Shone were on that money ringing run. And I just remember he had this bar against Archaeologist, Get Your Jaw Dusted or something like that. And it was just, it kind of took me aback a bit. I just thought it was fantastic. So I started watching these guys' battles, his affiliation with Dago DeVarlo and E. Farrell and Bangs and I battle Mandem, as it were. And it kind of culminated with me watching him versus Laffenstalk, which is one of my favorite King of the Dot battles of last year, maybe of all time even. It's brilliant. I know a lot of people are going to be like, what, that kind of bunker second day battle, but the writing is fantastic. Really, really funny battle, and I'm really happy to see Jeff here. And I think it'd be good to see Jeff against Jims. It'd be good to see Jims against Jeff, where we have the sort of Chrome Loso that might kind of stretch the limits of severity. Here we have Jims Jeff. I think this could be a funnier battle, a more laid back battle, but nonetheless a showcase of both of their talents. Third in the running, two battlers that I'm not really a fan of on the card, so I'm just kind of putting them together to get them out the way, really. That's Cortez versus Bonnie Godiva. I think Bonnie has been on an excellent run, as has Cortez, but their writing just doesn't excite me. There's got to be something like in their pad that really kind of like makes me think it's new or it's kind of intriguing. And both of these guys, I think, are a little bit on the sort of generic waylay side. I can sort of see King of the Dot throwing this matchup together. It's always good to see, both of them out there. They're both clearly favourites, but in the King of the Dot eyes. But for this Philistine Brit, they're not really a humdinger personally. Next up is Shotty P, who King of the Dot, I believe, recently fed clips to, and he did really, really well. And I can see in my eyes another URL vet being put on this card against Shotty, that being Swave Sever. Swave, who actually interviewed Swave 8th birthday's pre-party. I remember he just came into this packed room when, was it XQZ versus Crafty was going down? I think he just landed all the kind of, him and Chiller and Danger and Math and all those people are just landing for 8th birthday as a pre-party, and he just kept shouting in the room, "Where the weed at?" So, I've always got respect for that. Interviewed him, very, very cool guy. He's been on the fucking Joe Rogan Experience, which is just, incredible. Forget about being fucking on fucking Blackout 7, to be in a room with Red Band and JRE, and young Jamie. That would be crazy, but Swave Sever is Shotty P is how I'm seeing this. So now we get to the top trivium of day one. I would like to see Jonai versus A-Ward. I think this is quite an obvious battle if you cast it in the kind of theological remit. There's going to be demons and hell, and the same way we had Saga versus Tink and all these kind of storylines. But I think, forget that, really. These are both two of King of the Dot's top gunners. Excellent performance. I also met Jonai, I should say. Jonai at 8th birthday pre-party as well. He was there, had a great battle with Raptor a day or so later, and lovely guy, and just a vicious writer, great performer. I think King of the Dot would be silly not to put both of these together with the momentum that they're on the run they're on. A-Ward deserves it. A-Ward's, the rookie V Vets sort of Gully Gannick, should I say, card that they did was a great way for them to sort of see who can really, pull their weight. And I think A-Ward, there was no question, that he was doing some excellent stuff there. So him versus Jonai, really excited to see that. Also, A-Verb versus Chiller. I know a lot of people are thinking that, we're going to see like an A-Verb Young Ill versus Marvin Quest or something on those lines kind of thing. Inevitably is going to double. I am going to do a doubles battle with Marvin Quest. That's on day 2. But I think A-Verb versus Chiller, I think they've been speaking about this a lot. I think it was supposed to happen on URL years ago. And, it's probably not going to happen on URL again. So, with the kind of standing that both of them have, maybe it could do. But I think if URL were to give A-Verb a kind of sending off battle, as I think it's kind of his retirement plan is kind of in full effect at the moment, it wouldn't be with Chiller, it'd probably be with Lux or Mook or I don't know who, but it wouldn't be with Chiller. I don't think that really makes sense. I think Chiller, huge stock in King of the Dot, he's been showing out for good. A-Verb, Ilmac performance was slightly patchy. Thesaurus performance was excellent. I think this just kind of makes sense. And topping off day one, we have Roan versus Head Ice, which is a I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I think this has to happen. I think this is a fun kind of style match, not necessarily in a sort of Carter Head Ice way. I think both of them are going to go in each other's gullet, but I want to see Ice going for something. I want to see him kind of challenging, putting that persona into full force, really going at Roan's neck. I think Roan, he can just be himself really and get heralded over there. I find his style to be a little bit, it's not very compelling. It's not a champion style. What does that mean though? I don't really know what I'm saying here. I'm just kind of babbling to the microphone. I've not got a co-host to go up against, so I sort of have to form all these on the fly. But yeah, it should be a fun battle. Don't get me wrong. I am a Roan fan. I think Roan had an incredible run to the top, very admirable as well. But Ice wins this, right? I think Ice takes this. I think Ice can just he could just say simple things and for it to echo around the room and have power, and Roan kind of has that did it and I don't know, his flow can get a little bit irksome for me, but yeah, it should be a cool day one nonetheless. So we hop on to day 2. Opening up day 2, I have SM versus Aftershock. I know very, very little about these guys, so I'm not going to insult them by trying to scrabble for info here. Shout out SM versus Aftershock. Now we have DNA versus Peanut. I can see this kind of going down, this kind of matchup where, similar to the Bangs matchup on the Massacre card, King of the Dot are just putting DNA out there against one of their new guys. I think, DNA faced Prez as well, I believe, at a URL event a few years ago, and the same kind of thing. I think Peanut, the kind of long-standing joke is that he's kind of the up-and-comer, but he's been around since 2009 or something. I think he's been around since roughly the same time as DNA. This could be a fun matchup. I think this could be early, get the energy up in the room. Don't flop to this a bit, don't put DNA on early. He is a pro at this sort of thing. It's going to be fun. Next up, Sharon. I'm a big Sharon fan, and I was thinking, who is Sharon really going to face here? Not only has he faced a lot of these people, and maybe the Rome battle or Head Ice battle's upcoming, depending on who wins that, but there's not too many people off the top of my head that I could really point to. So I had Sharon versus Nestle. Now, they haven't battled before. They have done a track together, apparently called Mask. I haven't listened to it, but a quick Google revealed that. But yeah, I think this could be an interesting match. I think Nestle is beloved on King of the Dot, beloved everywhere, really. An excellent performer and writer. Sharon, relishes any opportunity to really show out in front of a crowd. I think giving him someone like an old hand like Nestle would be a good show of faith. I mean, Sharon's can go against anyone really now. And I think on these kind of King of the Dot stages, it's a home game. It's going to be like the John battle. It's just going to be something, or something easy for him really to brush off. I think he will win. I am a big Sharon fan. I think he's excellent. I think Nestle can have certain trouble connecting on larger stages, and there's nothing boomier or larger than the Blackout stage. So who knows here? But yeah, nonetheless, should be a really good matchup. We get on to Marvin Quest. I told you they were going to do a doubles battle. Now, I don't have that as Young Il Averb. I have it as Cheddar Carter. I think those guys should team up. They had a great battle at the last Blackout, and I think it would make sense to kind of do this as a sort of fun matchup, to do it as a less generic matchup, to kind of see what each of them will bring. We've seen what Marvin Quest can do with a slightly off-center opponent in a 2-on-2 form, that being the Shufflo battle at Set the Standard 10, was that? I think it was Set the Standard 10. So this could be fun. I think Cheddar and Carter teaming up. Again, Blackout, it's about the surprise element. You don't kind of want to make it too predictable on this card. I'm really hoping that a lot of the matchups that are getting touted aren't necessarily the ones that come out, because they kind of spell themselves out. You want some to come left field, so not nameless Big T left field, but left field nonetheless. So yeah, it's Marvin Quest versus Cheddar and Carter. Then have Young Il versus Pass. I think this should be high energy, explosive match. I think Young Il was great to see him come back recently. His first round, I think, especially in that doubles battle and double impact, was really, really good. Pass has been up and down, really. I don't know whether he has the writing, especially, he has the presence for sure. Yeah, he has the flow. He has a sense of legacy. Does he have the actual haymakers? I'm not sure. I think this could be a battle that is won on rhythms. That is won on the way they demonstrate itself. And I think this could be fun. But yeah, Young Il versus Pass will be the one, and then Caustic versus Daylight. I think, not only as a show of good faith, because Caustic, battled Roan recently, and then that kind of, went elsewhere, but he's still kind of a top tier in King of the Dot. But I think Caustic versus Daylight could be really good. I think, Caustic is the sort of guy that's going to straight talk him. Maybe he'll expose Daylight. I mean, obviously Daylight, quote unquote, has exposed himself many, many times, so he doesn't really need that. And I think Day, I'm not the biggest Daylight fan, to be honest with you. I don't really find his writing style that interesting, or it just doesn't do anything for me personally. But I think nonetheless, this is a top tier clash. This is a clash that's deserving of being on Day 2 of Blackout 7. So yeah, that is my entire Blackout 7 card. Let me just go through that quickly again. That is Day 1 would be Chrome versus Loso, Jims versus Jeffrey, Cortez versus Bonnie, Sway versus Shotty, Jonai versus A-Wood, Averb versus Chiller, Roan versus Head Ice, and then Day 2 is SM versus Aftershock, Peanut versus DNA, Nestle versus Sharon, Marvin Quest versus Cheddar and Carter, Young Il versus Pass, Caustic versus Daylight. Please comment below. Let me know what your matchups are if you're looking forward to it. Obviously, it's going to be on pay-per-view. Check that out. If you're going to the event as well, shout out Martin Richards, good friend of the show. I don't know if he's actually going to the event, but it's going to be a crazy event. The event itself is April 14th and 15th at the Capitol Event Theatre in Toronto. So yeah, that's going to be crazy. Pick up the PPV, go on to KOTDstore.com. Shout out to everyone at KOTD. They are always killing it. God, I'm just on their description now on their YouTube channel where they announce there are so many Twitters that they have. Bloody hell, there's a lot of people. Scott Jackson, is he a famous guy as well? I think he's like a sort of a King of the Dot guy over there. Is that right? Yeah, it's kind of like a beatboxer. I'm not sure. I'm babbling now because again I don't have a co-host, as I say. But thank you guys so much for listening. Please follow the show, subscribe to the show. This is a quick little thing just to get that out there. Please go on to patreon.com/battleresume. Donate to the show. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, see you guys later.